What's up, guys? So I am coming to you from Cali and it's raining today. So I am all snuggled up and I've got my coffee and ready to talk to you guys about something. So I had a totally different video scheduled today that I was gonna record, but I put something in the group today and I was asking what people feel like stops them from making money. And one of the first things that I got back, thank you for being so vulnerable by the way, was that they feel like doubting themselves is really what holds them back, devaluing themselves and not being able to put themselves out there. And so I thought I am definitely answering this question today. So I have 10 ways that I want to talk to you about basically getting rid of fear in your life and embracing the journey. So if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. My name is Ashley Tate. I am a strategic communications consultant and I talk about all things regarding profit, purpose, and productivity. And in today's video, this is one of the things that's a huge culprit that will affect all three of those: profit, purpose, and productivity. And that takes away from getting the success that you want in your life and business. So we gotta handle this. Now, before we jump into this one, I wanna just share with you that fear is something that we just have to acknowledge is going to be with us always. Like, it's like, you know, what do they call like the monkey on your back? It is literally like that. It's always gonna be with you. It never goes away, and you have to learn how to manage it. So my first tip on fear is that you have to embrace and realize that business is a journey. And when you start this, you know, there are going to be ups and downs. I mean, nobody starts a business and it's just perfect. And unfortunately, there are a lot of creators out here who make it seem that way, but that really is just not the real deal. And when you're starting your journey, I always feel like that's kind of the fun part, right? Like just kind of like pulling yourself up from the bootstraps, you know, finding ways to connect your message, doing all the things that you need to do and to actually get your business out there. But that is the hustle, right? And so the hustle isn't pretty and it's not always perfect. And so you have to embrace that and understand that when you put things out, it's not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be amazing. I still put things out that I'm not like overly happy with, but progress is better than perfection, right? And done is better than not having anything. So in every journey, there is a risk. And when you realize this, that risk is fear. And when I'm gonna give you a few more tips on just how to manage that fear along the way. So my second tip is to create a life of intention, okay? The best way that you can combat fear is by taking action. And so the best way to take action is to already have the intent to do something. That's why we write a to-do list every morning. That's why, you know, we write plans. That's why we have all these things that will tell us what to do next, so that we don't get stagnant. We don't allow fear to creep in and to, you know, like be idle. We don't allow ourselves to do those things. And so when we do that, and we create a life with intention, we are literally able to do exactly as my tagline says and design a life and business on purpose. And that is the entire goal here. We want to create a life that we love and a business that we love, but you have to do that with intention. These things don't happen accidentally, right? Success doesn't happen accidentally. It happens on purpose because of the action steps that you take along the way. The next thing I would say is to create an advisory board. So if you have a group of people or someone in your life that you trust, and maybe it's not always for the same thing, maybe it's for different things. I have different people I talk to about, specifically about YouTube. I have different questions that I'll ask just my husband. I have different questions I'll ask my mom, but all of these people make up your advisory board, or what I like to really call your crew. And what that does is it allows you a place that you can always go and talk to these specific people about these specific things because you trust their opinion and they know you well in that aspect of your life or business. And so we want to make sure that when we're doing these things that we are paying attention to who exactly we are talking to about our goals and about our dreams and our visions and things like that, because it has to be the right person so that you'll get the right feedback, okay? You want good feedback. You want realistic feedback, but you want it to be from the right people. Number 4 is to match everything to your vision, mission, and values. Now, if you have done any of my courses, or you've been with me long enough and you've been in the tribe, you know that I talk a lot about your mission, your vision, and your values. And creating that life and vision is huge, because that really does keep your eye on the ball. That's what allows you to stay intentional about the things that you're doing on a yearly basis, a weekly basis, a monthly, daily. If you know what you're trying to achieve, then it's not as hard to get there, right? You know the steps that you have to take. So a lot of people will use a vision board in this respect, and I think that's a great thing to use, like absolutely use a vision board. Whatever you need to do to keep it top of mind. I rewrite my goals every day in my planner just so that I know what I'm working on. Sometimes I'll review the big vision, and that's always good to just have somewhere that maybe you can just see, or if you're open to everyone seeing it, then everyone can see it. But these are the types of things that will allow you to make the progress and move past the fear so that you can actually just take the action. Number 5. Now, number 5 I think is huge. Every time you're starting to feel like you're starting to doubt yourself about something, you know, it's good to write down your strengths. It's good to kind of like do a little reset and tell yourself, no, I'm actually good at a few things, and I'm going to write down those things. I'm going to remember what I'm good at. Because when fear creeps in, it really can bring up all the negatives. It can bring up all your weaknesses. It can bring up all the insecurities that you might have. And really, there's nothing you can do about a weakness that you have. I mean, yes, you can try to improve it, but why would we waste time trying to improve something that we already have? We can already like put a lot of that focus into the things that we're already very good at. Like, don't make things harder for yourself. If you're not good speaking and you're a much better writer, then write. If you're much better at, you know, writing and or speaking, then speak. And it doesn't have to be on YouTube. If you're not comfortable on camera, do it on a podcast, like whatever it is. But if you have to get your message out there and you have to get your business out there, you really need to make sure that you are working on your strengths. Don't try to do what other people are doing. Try to only work on your strengths. And, you know, you'll be working on, as you get better in your strengths, you will get better in your weaknesses. I'm just not a big fan of like writing down your weaknesses. I don't think that really helps anything. Just focus on your strengths. When you're feeling like you're doubting yourself, I feel like this is one of the best exercises you can ever do, is just to sit down and write down your strengths. You know, however many times you need to. Ask someone, hey, what am I good at? Someone you trust, someone on the crew. Ask them what you're good at if you aren't sure. And just keep adding to that list, and look at that list when you feel like you are not, you know, working in your highest level of capacity. Like, you should always feel like I'm doing something that is a strength. And if it's not a strength, then you need to delegate it or you need to get rid of it. So we work in strengths, okay? Number 6 is stop explaining yourself. Now, I started doing this one when I had children, because, you know, sometimes you'd be somewhere and maybe your kid is crying, or maybe they're hungry, or maybe they're sick. And I read it somewhere that said, don't ever explain your children. And once I got that, I was like, oh my God, that is so true. I'm not going to explain my children. I'm not going to explain myself. Like, I don't feel like I need to explain myself to anyone to make you understand what's going on with me, like, or make you feel more comfortable with me. And I'm telling you, there's a shirt that's going around on Instagram right now. It is so true. It says, be you, they'll adjust. And I feel like that's my motto for life. I need to get that sweatshirt. But anyway, I mean, it is so true. People will adjust to you, but you have to be confident in yourself first when you show up before they're going to adjust to you, okay? Otherwise, they will expect that you'll adjust to them. So the main thing on that is just to make sure that you're not explaining yourself. You don't have to explain why you're deciding to do a YouTube channel. You don't have to explain why all of a sudden on your Instagram you're posting, you know, little snippet videos of things that you want to do. You don't have to explain why you're going live all the time. You don't have to explain that. That's not anyone else's business, really. And also literally, it's not anyone else's business. It's your business, so you do what you need to do. Don't feel like you need to do that. And that is a very tough thing to do. It's much easier said than done. But once you start that habit, it is so freeing because it makes other people have to deal with whatever it is that they're having an issue with because it's not your issue. Number 7 is kind of piggybacking on the back of this one, which is know your worth. Okay, so maybe you're not, you know, the biggest person out there, or you don't have the biggest business, or you don't make the type of revenue that you want to. But the idea is that you still own a business and you are still doing your very best and you still love your business and you're enjoying what you're doing. So it's not up to you to try to prove yourself to anyone else. You already know your worth. You already know where you're going. You know your vision. You know that this is part of the process, part of the journey that has to be done in order for you to get there. Number 8, acknowledge the worst case scenario. So, you know, like I said, fear is trying to keep you safe, okay? So with fear, what you need to do is you have to acknowledge that, yes, I see the problem that you're coming up with. Yes, I see the potential issues that could happen with this. But what would be that worst case scenario if it really did happen? We take a risk every time we hop on a plane, right? We take a risk every time we get into the car, but we acknowledge that risk and then we still drive the car and we still go on vacation. We still do the things that we want to do. We acknowledge the risk when we have a child. We have so many different risks that we acknowledge all the time. And all you're doing is moving through that fear, right? You're moving past it. And that's all you can do with fear is you really can only move past the fear. That's it. There's no other options. Like you can't, what was that old thing that you can't go over it, you can't go under it, you have to go through it. So, I mean, that is the deal. Like you really can't do anything else except go through it. And we do it every single day. You are created to do these things, to move through fear. Okay, you do it when you get in the car, you do it when you walk down the street, you do it all the time. This is nothing new, and you have to treat it like that. Number 9, failure only happens when you give up, okay? So really and truly, I mean, I don't have another way to tell you this because I really believe in the idea of, you know, building your own business and living your best life, and nothing, I mean, no matter what comes your way, like, unless you throw in the towel or you give up, you have not failed. That business may have not done so well and you may have had to pivot, but right now in 2020, we're all in the middle of a pivot, right, with our businesses because this is something that we have not been accustomed to. And so these are the types of things, like we make things too big. We make things way bigger than they have to be. I mean, we're all pivoting. We're all making adjustments. We're all changing. And that's just part of business. You're always going to be evolving into something different. You're never going to stay the same. Last thing I want to say, and I have always kind of lived by this, but one person should not stop another who is actually doing the job or doing the task. And this is actually a famous saying, but I can't remember what it is right now, and if I can, I will insert it into the video. But basically, you don't stop the person who's doing the work. Like if you're not doing the work, don't stop me from doing the work. So there's gonna be naysayers all the time, and there's gonna be people who are going to, creep in and bring up that fear and self-doubt and all of that stuff. But here's the thing, guys. You have actually already chosen to do the work. You put in the work for the 501c3, or you went to the city hall and you got your business license. You did the work. These people did not do the work for you. And they don't have the same situation that you have. They don't have the same circumstances that you have. I look at this all the time. I have 2 children, I run a nonprofit, I run a business, I consult. I do a lot of different things. I try to be a good wife. I have all these different hats that I wear that I don't expect anyone to understand my situation, so I don't feel like they can speak on my situation. And when I look at videos and they talk about like different types of ways to be productive, I always think to myself, like, these are great, but it wouldn't apply to my life because it's not realistic for my life. And usually they're taking care of a dog, or it's just them and their boyfriend, or whoever it is, or they have 8 kids, and it's not realistic for my life that way either. So everybody has their different circumstances, and you are the one that's doing the work. Acknowledge that, own it, and go take action, and then get out there and unleash do something amazing. And that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope this helped you. And if you chose to take a tip from today, please leave it down in the comment section below. Or if you have one that you'd like to add as to how to get over fear and self-doubt, and stop caring what people think of you, honestly. Don't worry about other people. Everybody's got something to say. Yes, that's it. And I will see you guys. I hope you have an amazing Sunday, amazing week, and I will talk to you soon. Please, if you enjoyed this video, please, please, please hit the like button or the subscribe button, which would be even better. And if you're interested in joining the tribe and getting more information like this on a weekly basis, you can go to ashleytate.com and join the tribe there, and we'll see you in there. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.